Okay, so now let's look at the number one, which is the 8x plus 8 equals 12, solve for x. Okay, so this is the linear equation. So, which is ax equals 4. So x equals what? 4 over 8, which is 1/2. Okay, so this is the first problem. The second problem, our f of x equals negative x squared minus 4x plus 1. Okay, and we want to find f of 4. So you replace x with 4. Okay, so it's 4 squared minus 4 times 4 plus 1. So here is negative times 4 squared, not negative 4 squared. Okay, so this is the negative 16 minus 16 plus 1. So this is equal to negative 31. Number 3 is for the graph of the inequalities, which is x plus 4y greater than equal to 5. Okay, so here we need to look at the boundary first, x plus 4y equals 5. Then we choose 2 points, right? One point you can choose 5, 0, when y equals 0, x equals 5. The other point you can choose 1, 1 point. X equals 1, y equals 1. Okay. Of course, you can choose x-intercept and y-intercept, but sometimes you have some fractions, right? But this point is easy to locate, to be located on your graph. So this one is the 5, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 0 is here. 1, 1 point is here. Okay, so this graph is a solid line, which is solid line. Because there is an equal sign, then we can have test 0, 0, test a point, arbitrary point. Here we choose this point, 0, 0 point. We test 0, 0 point. We plug into the inequality. 0 plus 4 times 0 greater than equal to 5. No, it's not correct, right? So that means you should have the plane, the half plane does not include the origin, so which is this one, right? So the choice is D for this problem. The next one is a linear programming problem. So produce 2 parts, part A and part B. Okay, this is number 4. We use a table to describe it. Part A and part B. Part A, the profit is $3 each. Part B, the profit is $6 each. We let X be the number of the part A. Okay, X is the part A. Y is be the number of the part B. So write down the objective function to describe the total profit. Okay, so the objective function which is Z equals the total profit. So we have XA, so you have 3 times X. So this is the profit for part A. And part B is 6 times Y. So we'll add together what would be the total profit. Right. So this is the objective function. Problem 5. Again, this is the skilled linear programming problem. So John has at most 20 hours, at most, you need to highlight some sentence, right? Hours during the week. He is trying to make a weekly plan for dividing his free time between reading and working out. So he wants to spend at least 5 hours for reading. At least 5 hours for reading. Write down a system of inequalities to describe the situation. We let X be the number of hours for reading. X is for reading hours. And Y is the working out hours. So we needed to write down the linear system, not a linear system, a system of inequalities to describe the situation. So here is, it says, okay, at most 20 hours free time. So that means X plus Y should be at most, not exceed, right? Should be less than equal to 20 hours. So this is one thing. And at least 5 hours for reading. So reading time, X hours, should be at least means greater than equal to 5, right? And we have also another one, which is not stated in the problem, but we know it should have Y is greater than equal to 0, right? We should have no negative hours, right? So of course, we don't need to write down the X greater than equal to 0 because here we assume X is greater than equal to 5. So it's already greater than equal to 0, right? So you just have this one, not like the other ones we have done in our class, right? We have X greater than equal to 0, Y greater than equal to 0, but here X is already greater than equal to 5. So it's automatically greater than equal to 0, okay? So this will be the system of inequalities. So this is called the restriction constraints, right? For the linear programming problems. So this is number 5. Number 6. Graphing the inequalities. Y greater than 1. Okay, so you needed to look at what is Y equals 1. Y equals 1 is here, is a horizontal line. This is 1. So it's greater than 1, so it should be what? Should be a dashed line, right? Dashed line. So which is the upper plane or the lower plane? Greater than 1. So upper plane, right? Because if you plug in the testing point 0, 0 greater than 1 is not true, so we should not have the lower plane, right? But this is a straightforward thing, and we already know greater than 1, which is above the line, right? So this is number 6. Number 7. Okay, so this is again the linear programming problem, and the product A and the product B. We have 2 machines to produce this product A and the product B. Okay, so this table is given in the problem. This is product A and this is product B. And this is the machine 1. And this is machine 2. Okay. And the number of hours needed to produce 1 unit is given by, on the machine 1, product A needed 2 hours. On the machine 2, needed 3 hours. Okay. And for the product B, we need 1 hour for the product B and 4 hours for product B on machine 2. So a product needed to go through 2 machines, machine A and machine 2. Okay. It says, okay, the machine 1 is available for at most 1,000 hours. So the total machine 1 should be at most, so that means less than equal to 1,000. This is total hours for machine 1. Machine 2 is available for at most 2,500 hours. If the profit for the product A, which is the profit, we can add one more column, which is called the profit. For product A, which is $20. For product B, which is the profit is $25. Set up a linear programming problem to maximize the profit. So we want to maximize the profit. Okay, so the first thing is we needed to write down the maximize the profit. So we needed to know the total profit, right? So here we assume X will be the product A and we have Y product B. Okay, Y units for the product B and the X units for the product A. So the total we want to maximize. Objective function. Objective function is Z. Z represents the total profit, right? We want to maximize the total profit. The total profit would be what? 20x plus 25y. Right, this is the total profit. We want to maximize this total profit. And what is the constraint?
X is greater than 0.
X is greater than 0, no problem. Greater than equal to 0, right? Y is also greater than equal to 0. And we also have the machine 1 only at most 1,000 hours. So the total hours on machine 1, which is for product A, which is 2x, for product B, which is 1 times y. So the total hours is 2 what?
2x
Plus y
but it's less than
equal to 1,000. Yeah. The second one, which is the total hours on the product on the machine 2, which is less than equal to 2,500, right? So this would be 3x plus 4y. This is the total hours on the machine 2. So 3x plus 4y should be less than equal to 25. Okay, so this is your linear programming problem, right? To ask you to just set up, you don't need to solve it. Number 7, so number 8. Number 8 is a rational function, right? Which is f of x equals -1 over x plus 4. So the graph is already given, right? You can see from the graph, there is a dashed line, which is on the dashed line is x equals -4, right? So this is called the vertical asymptote. So that means this vertical asymptote x equals -4 is not on the domain, right? This is from the graph, but we can also look at the domain by assume that the denominator cannot be 0, right? So x plus 4, it cannot be 0, so that means x is not equal to -4. So your domain is x is not equal to -4. Or if you use the interval notation, it would be -infinity to -4, parentheses, union -4 to +infinity. Right? This is the interval notation. If you want to use some set notation, which is x, such that x is not equal to -4, right? So these are all represented the same thing. Number 9, find the degree of the polynomial y equals negative x to the 4 minus x to the 6 plus 5. So the degree, what's the meaning for the degree of a polynomial? Which is the highest power, right? The highest power here is what? 6. So the degree is 6. Right. Number 10. This is the system of linear inequalities. Y less than -3x minus 3. Y is greater than or equal to x plus 6. Okay, so we need to draw the graph. So the first one, well, let's look at y equals, the boundary is y equals -3x minus 3. So we needed to choose the 2 points, right, to locate this graph. So this line, so this one is the x equals 0, y equals -3. Y equals 0, x equals what? -1. Right. You have these 2 points, then let's locate. Zero, -3 is here. 1, 2, 3. This is 0, -3. And -1, 0 is here. So we connect these 2 points, but we should use this is less than. There's no equal sign, right? So we use what? Use the dashed line. Dashed line. We use a dashed line. So, but which part, right? We just test the origin, because the origin is not on the line, so we test the origin. So we plug it into the inequality. 0 less than -3 times 0 minus 3. Is that correct? No, it's not correct, right? It gives you 0 less than -3, so it's not correct. So it should contain the plane does not include the 0, 0 point, so which is here. Okay, then let's look at the other one. The other one is y equals x plus 6. So you can choose x equals 0, y equals 6, y equals 0, x equals -6, right? So this is the 6. So let's draw the graph. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 0, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is -6, 0. Then you connect, we use because 0 is an equal sign, so we use a solid line. But which part? We still test the 0, 0 point. Plug into here. So we have 0 greater than or equal to 0 plus 6. This is not correct, right? This is not correct. So which should be above this line. Okay, so the common part would be, use another color, would be this one. This is dashed line, this side, and this side is a solid line, and between it, so the choice A would be your answer. Okay. 11. Okay, this is for the revenue and the cost function. Okay, the cost function C is given by 12x plus 15000, and the revenue would be 15x minus 9000. Okay, it asks you to find the number of units in order to break even. So the break even means what? Break even. So this we have talked many times, right? It means the cost equals the revenue, right? It's called break even. So we set up this C equals R, so it gives you 12x plus 15,000 equals 15x minus 9,000. So if you subtract 15x on both sides, it will give you negative 3x plus 15,000 equals negative 9,000. Then we subtract 15,000 on the 15,000 on both sides, it would be negative 3x equals negative 24,000. So x equals what? 8,000. So the 8,000 units would break even, will give you the break even. Number 12. The growth, okay, exponential growth. So this is the this formula. AT equals 168 times e to the negative e to the 0.023t. So this is the formula is given. T represents the number since 1985. Okay, the number of years since 1981. So estimate the population in the year 2000. So T equals what? 2000 minus 1985. So which is 15 years. Then we plug in. So the population would be 168 times e to the 0.023 times 15. Okay, you can use your calculate directly, but don't forget, if you use your calculator to calculate directly, you don't forget the parentheses. Okay, the parentheses in for the exponent. But if you want to calculate step by step, you can calculate the power first. Okay, so this is the would be 168 times e to the what? E to the, if you do the calculation, it would be 0.345. Then you use your calculator to do the calculation, because this is the population, so we always keep the integer. So this is the population in 2000. 13, which is the logarithmic function. So we have many rules for the logarithmic function, right? So this time we want to separate. So we know that if there's a product, you can write as a sum of two logarithmic functions with the same base. 6. Here is 6 plus log 6 of y squared. Then we can take this power in front of the log, right? So it would be log 6x plus 2 times log 6y. So this is your answer, which is the choice C. Number 14. Again, this is the region is given. Okay, the region is given by this graph. Let's just quick draw the graph. So the origin. So this is the graph. Okay, this is 1. Equal to 1. So look at so it asks you to find the inequalities to describe this region, this shaded region, the system of inequalities. So for this kind of problem, the first thing you need to do is to read the choice, give you some ideas what kind of equation you will have, inequality you will have. Okay, read this. The 4 choices you will see y less than equal to 2x, y greater than equal to 2x. So x plus y greater than 1, less than 1, greater than 1, greater than equal to 1. Okay, so these 2 boundary will, one is y equals 2x, no matter greater than equal to x or less than equal to x. The boundary always be the y equals 2x. Okay, and another boundary is y plus x plus y should be equal to 1. Right? This is another boundary. And we notice that goes through the origin, so this one must be y equals 2x. The dashed line would be y plus x equals 1. So the dashed line means there is no equal sign for the inequalities, right? So the choice B and the choice D, you can exclude these 2 choices, right? So you only have choice A and choice C left. So which one is correct? We just need to pick a point in the region, then plug in to these 2 choices to see if they are satisfied or not. We just pick up arbitrary point. We pick this point, 2, 0 point, which is in the region, right? Okay, so it should satisfy these 2. So this one should be included, right? There is an equal sign. So it's we plug in 2, x, so 0. We plug in here, right? Look at this one, 0 and 2 times 2. We want to know it's greater than equal to or less than equal to. Could you tell me it's greater than equal to or less than equal to?
What's that? The 0.
We want our 0 is, this is 4, right? We should have less than equal. The reason is this is a solid line, right? This line is a solid line. This line is solid line. So we must have the equal sign in the inequality. So we should have, for this region, which this one will give you that y should be less than equal to 2x, right? Then you look at these 2, choice A and choice C, and the second inequality are the same. So you just choose choice A, okay? Of course, we can test the second inequality if this is true. For the second inequality, we're still plugging in this point because this point is in the region, right? We're plugging like this one. So this is the 2 plus 0, which is less than or greater than 1. It should be what? Greater than 1, right? There is no equal sign. The reason is here is dashed line. So it's greater than 1. So that means x plus y should be greater than 1. This is another inequality. So you can see it must be the choice A, right? It must be the choice A. Number 15. X less than equal to -4, y greater than 2, 3x plus y less than 4 or less than 6. Okay, so we can draw these 2 quickly, right? Less than -4, 1, 2, 3, 4. X equals -4, which is this line, right? The vertical line. It's less than equal to, so it must be a solid line. Okay, and less than another one, greater than y greater than 2. 2 is here. 1, 2. Greater than 2. So it would be, this is equal to 2. It's a dashed line. Right? So less than -4, less than equal to negative. So would it be the left side, right? Greater than 2, which is above. Okay, so now let's look at the other one, the third one, which is 3x plus y equals 6. We can choose y equals x equals 0, y equals 6, y equals 0, x equals 2, right? 2, 0 would be 1, 2. And 0, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. We should have more space. So we use the dashed line to connect these 2 points, right? Dashed line. This is for y greater x greater than equal to y greater than equal to 2. This is for the less than equal to -4. So this is our new one. Okay, it should be here, right? Not very good, but you should understand that. And which point? Well, let's test the 0, 0 point, right? 0, 0 point would be, we test the 0, 0 point, 3 times 0 plus 0 less than 6. If this is correct, yes. So it should contain the plane which is below this dashed line. Below this dashed line, I should use this one, right? Then the common part is where? Let me highlight the common part. Would be this one, this one, and between. So this is the choice C. Choice C will give you this graph. Okay. Solve the exponential equation. 6 to the 9x in terms of the natural log. So when we have the exponential equations, you must have this kind of form, right? Then what we should do, we want to solve for x. We need to bring down this x, right? So we need to take the natural log on both sides. Then you can bring down this x, right? Of course, you can bring them more, just 9x, right? You can bring down this whole power, this exponent. You can take it in front. This is 9x times natural log of 6 equals. So x equals what? Natural log 2.4 over 9 times natural log of 6. Okay. So this would be your answer. If the choice, if the problem asks you to keep some decimals, then you need to use the calculator. Okay. When you use your calculator, don't forget for the parentheses in the denominator. 17, which is solve the logarithmic equation. Ln 2x equals 4. Right? From here, we know Ln means the log base with base e, right? So 2x is equal to e to the 4. So x equals e to the 4 over 2. Or you can just, another way is we take e on both sides. We raise e to the same power. One is the natural log 2x, the other one is 4 because they are equal, right? So it must be the 2. So that means so e to the natural log would be what? Would be 2x. The reason is natural log is base e. Okay. So this one would be e to the 4. So x equals e to the 4 over 2. Here we use the property to solve the problem. Here we use the definition to solve the problem. Okay. -18. -3, 3x plus 6 less than -12x minus 15. Okay, so this inequality, then draw the graph, the interval notations. So this one would be -9x minus 18 less than -12x minus 15. On both sides, we add 12x on both sides, so it would be 3x minus 18 less than -15. Then we plus 18 on both sides, you will have 3x is less than 3. So x is less than 1, right? If you divide by a constant, a positive constant, it will not change the inequality sign, okay? So less than 1, so that means that interval notation would be negative infinity to 1. What about the number line? So if the center is 0, here is 1. So you need to add 1, you draw a parenthesis. And the less than 1, which is here. Okay. Number 19, which is the simple interest rate. So it tells you that the total low of the low is $650. So the P, the principal value, 650. The interest rate R equals 5%, so which is 0.05. T is 6 months. But we know in the formula, we always use in years. You need to convert to be years, which is 6 over 12 years, which is 1/2 years. Okay. So let's calculate the interest you need to pay. So which is I is equal to P, R, and T, right? Then you plug in. Use a calculator, it would be $16.25. But this is not the end, right? Read the problem. It asks you to find the total amount. So you need to add this interest to the principal value. So the total amount is A equals I plus P. So this is the 16.5 plus 650, which is 666.25. Okay, so I remember in exam 2, some students just got the interest, they forgot to add the principal value to find the final total amount. Okay, so remember this formula is just give you the interest. You need to read the problem carefully to make sure it asks you to find the interest or find the total value. Number 20, which is the, let me see, this is the compounded quarterly. So we need to use the compound interest formula, which is A equals P times 1 plus R over M to the what? MT, compound interest rate. So here P equals, it gives you P equals 3,500. R equals 5%, which is 0.05. And M equals quarterly, compounded quarterly, so M equals 4. And T equals, it says 6 years. So T equals 6. So then you plug in everything. So this A is equal to 3,500 times 1 plus 0.05 over 4 over to the M, sorry. M is 4 times T is 6. Right? Use a calculator. Don't forget the parentheses. Okay. At last, you will get, you can check for yourself. So since this is about money, so we always keep 2 decimals, round it to the cents. So this one would be 4715.73. This is 21. This is 20. This is 21. Which is find a domain and a graph for the function gx equals negative x plus 1 squared minus 6. So this is the quadratic formula, right? Which is given by the vertex form. The vertex form, we know that the vertex form should be what? Should be a times x minus h squared plus k. So this is the vertex form. So compare these two. So here A is what? -1, which is a negative number. So it should open down, right? It should open down. And here HK is the vertex. So H it would be what? This plus 1 here is minus H. So H it would be -1. K is -6. So the graph will look like here, if this is -1, here is -6. So this is the vertex, open down, right? So this is the graph. Okay, but if you look at the choice B and choice D, they have the same graph. Okay, they have the same graph, but which one is correct? You need to look at the domain. The domain, which is the values of x you can plug in. So here, obviously, you can plug in any x values, right? So there is no restriction on x. So it should be -infinity to infinity. So the only choice is B. Choice B give you the same graph, give you the correct graph and the correct domain. (22) y equals 7. Ask you to find x-intercept, y-intercept, and graph the equation. The equation is y equals 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 here. This is the horizontal line. This is 7. Okay, x-intercept, which is the point on the x-axis for the graph. There's no point on the x-axis, so there's no x-intercept. What about the y-intercept? 7, right? Y equals 7 is the y-intercept. So sometimes it asks you to give the point, which is 0, 7 point. Right? Depends on the problem. Okay. these two, either one is correct, okay? But it depends on the problem. If it's a free response problem, you can just choose either one. If it's a multiple choice problem, look at the choice, okay? So this is the number 22. Graphing the f of x equals 5 to the x. So we know that here is just quick review. Y equals b to the x. When b is greater than 1, so the graph will be this one, right? If b is less than 1, greater than 0, the graph will be this one. So here, b is 5, right, for this problem. So which is greater than 1, so this one is correct, right? Then you look at the choice. Which one has this kind of shape? D, choice D would be your correct answer. Okay. 24. Again, this is the compound continuous, right? Okay. Continuous compound interest. So we needed to use this formula. A equals P times E to the RT. So here P is 9,000. R is 7.25%, which is 0.0725. And T is 7 years. So T equals 7. Then we plug in everything. So A equals 9,000 times E to the 0.0725 times 7. So don't forget, if you want to use a calculator, don't forget the prices for the power. Okay. So at last, we will have 14950.20. We need 2 decimals. A5. Solve the linear equation, system of linear equations. Okay, so we use 2 ways to solve it. One way is the substitution method. So look at do some observation first. You will see that solve for x is kind of easy, right? Convenient. So from the equation 1, which will give you what? X equals 35 plus 5y. Then we plug in this one into the equation 2. So it's 5 times 35 plus 5y. Don't forget the parentheses. Minus 4y equals 28, right? So this is the 175 plus 25y minus 4y should be equal to 28. So 21y is equal to negative 147. So y equals negative 7. Y equals negative 7. So then you just plug in the first equation. So x minus 5 times negative 7 equals 35. So x equals what? X equals 0. So your solution would be x equals 0, y equals negative 7. All the points form or the point form would be 0, negative 7. So this is the substitution method, right? So now we want to use the elimination method. So we do the observations. Here is x, here is 5x. Right, this is, if we eliminate x, would be convenient for us, right? So here, if we add elimination, we means the addition, right? addition by elimination. So here we multiply the first equation by -5 to make an opposite number, right? So it would be -5x plus 25y equals -175. Then you will add these two equations up. If this is 3 plus 2 would give you what? You add them up, it would be 0 here. It would be plus 21y equals -147. So y equals -7. Then you plug into the first equation. So x minus y times -7 equals 35. So x equals 0. Then you will have the same answer. Right. Which asks you to find the slope-intercept of equation y equals mx plus b. So this form is given. You need to find this kind of form for the equation. For the 26, which is m equals -4, y-intercept, which is -y equals -7, right? So we know that if you have the slope-intercept form, this m means the slope, b is what? Y-intercept, right? Y-intercept. So here, this tells you that m equals -4, and b equals -7. So you plug in, it would be y equals -4x minus 7, right? If you don't remember this kind of thing, that's okay. The only thing you need to memorize is the point slope form. Point slope form is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Then you can convert this point slope form to the point intercept form, slope intercept form, right? So here, y-intercept is -7. It tells you that, so here m equals -4. Y-intercept is -7. That means you have a point on the line, which is the 0, -7 point, right? This is the y-intercept. So you just plug in here, y minus y1 is -7 minus -7 equals -4 times x minus 0. So y plus 7 equals -4x. So y equals -4x minus 7. Right, you will get the same answer. This is 26. 27. So this time it does not give you the intercept, it just gives you a point on the line. So we have to use this one, point slope form. There is no other choice. 27, it tells you m equals 3. It will pass through the point 1, -2 point. So you need to find the equation in the form of y equals mx plus b. How to find? Just the first we find the equation, then convert to be this form. Y minus y1, which is -2, equals 3 times x minus 1. We always have students forget this parentheses. They just say, okay, 3x minus 1. Then you will get the wrong answer. Okay, so this is y plus 2 equals 3x minus 3. So y equals 3x minus 5. So this will be the slope intercept form. The last one, given a graph to test if the graph represents a function. Do you remember what we should do? Yeah, vertical line test. Vertical line test is the way to test the graph is a function or not. When a graph is a function, that means for each x value, it represents, it only has one y value corresponding to it, right? This is called a function. The input is a number, the out is one number, the output should be only one number, not two numbers, three numbers, right? So if you use a vertical line test, you can see you just draw a vertical line up to a vertical line. You can see it intersects 2 points, right? For this x value, it corresponding to y value, so it's not a function.